Welcome back, Overcomers. Today, day 4, motivational principles of discipleship and followership. So this is day number 4 of 5, and today we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to me, and simply we are going to really just knock this out the park the rest of the week. And if you know this one principle, you may be able to sum up a significant amount of what we discussed over the last 3 days. So day 1 was know their name, right? If we don't know their name, we're not going to know who they are. Day 2 is know their passion, all right? Know what makes them drive. Know what makes them tick. Day 3, know their pain. Be understanding, compassionate, empathetic about what they've gone through. And day number 4, know their heart. What do they love? What is it that, outside of their passions, right? What is it that they, the individuals that want to follow you, or the individuals that you're developing to become great leaders, what is it that they need? And I would say simply this: discipleship and followership begins with relationship. You know their name, you know their passion, you know their pain. Now you're starting to really build that relationship. The trust is really coming through here. You're establishing a guideline or a guide, and you're putting up these boundaries that initially it's a very small box. It's a very small scope of boundary. But now those boundaries are starting to open up a little bit. You're sharing a little bit more with those individuals, right? You're building that relationship with them. As you build a relationship with these individuals, you're going to see that as you listen to them, which you learned in day 3, you're going to see that they are probably worth a lot more than you think, right? So as you know their heart, you understand the discipleship and followership builds relationship. You're going to also build a solid foundation with yourself. And you're also going to know that this one thing, right, is you can't grow with someone who's unwilling to share and give all of their heart. So if you as a leader bring someone alongside you and they're not being trustworthy, or they're not sharing the whole truth, or they're not really giving it their all, or really they're not just giving you all of their heart, are you really building a relationship, and are they really your follower, or are you really their leader, right? Think about a team for right now. The coach, he's out there and he's giving a speech, and he says, I want you to give it all your heart today. Get in there, put it all on the table, put it all on the ice, put it all on the field, put it all on the track. Do it all with all of your heart, but then they don't. What happens, right? In that moment, you'll see that they fail. In that moment, you'll see that these individuals really aren't there to put it all out for you. Are you going to keep them around? Because if you really want to keep them around, they may have to come around and really play by the rules and the established guidelines and the boundaries that you set forth for yourself. Right? I had 32 people working for me at one point. This was in 2017. I had 32 people working for me, and every single Friday we had a transparency meeting. Yes, transparency meeting. We'll talk about that at one point. But what is a transparency meeting? That is simply just being open, honest, and bringing the entire team together and saying what's working, what's not working. Give me the good, bad, ugly of everything that is going on right now with our team for us to then grow, right? I made them study books on a weekly basis. Okay, here, this is the book that we're going to study this week. You don't need to read the whole thing. We're just going to skim through it. We're going to pull some passages out, and we're going to train on them. We're going to teach on them. And then at the transparency meeting, we're going to see if they work. And if they don't work, then we'll get rid of them. And then we'll bring new stuff in, new product, new topics, new understandings, and see if it just works. But if those individuals were unwilling to give it their all during those weeks, I'd pull them aside and I'd tell them they weren't pulling their weight. And I'd have to do a few things. I'd have to counsel them. I'd have to teach them. I'd have to find out what's going on with them. I'd have to know who they are by knowing their name. I'd have to know what their passions are. I'd have to know what was going on in their lives, maybe feel some pain of what they had, right? But that all gets me to this and getting it to understand their heart and know what's going on with them. Next, we need to get past the knowing of one's names, and seek to find out their passions and their pain, right? Even though we already spoke about them, and they may have showed and shared some pieces of this, it is not the in-depth. Now, I said on day one that not everybody is going to share their story. Not everybody's going to share their passion. Not everybody's going to share that. But without knowing that, it makes it difficult for the leader to really just break it down and give us the insight about what makes those individuals really want to be there. You know, there's a book out there by Gary Chapman called The Five Appreciations in the Workplace. And it's just like the 5 love languages, just applied to the workplace. Same 5 principles. I suggest you go out there and get that, especially if you want to be a leader. And that'll tell you that, you know, the individuals that need the high five saying good job, the individuals out there that need the Bravo Zulu, you know, that they're doing the right thing, the individuals out there that want the one-on-one time with the leader to help them grow. Those people are out there. So if you're not speaking that member's language, you're never going to know their heart. There was one young individual that I was working with, 25 years old, didn't want to be in the organization. And I sat down and I said, why? And they said, I just miss my home. So we kind of spoke about that a little bit. Come to find out that if I gave that member 20 to 30 minutes a day to just make a phone call back home, to speak to their family, that broke the walls down. That gave us that was the entire difference between individuals that wanted to be there and not be there for that one person. Now I had to do that 32 times. But I will say this, my organization went from a 15% rating of, you know, members that were failing at completing work, and flipped it on its head. You know, just to kind of bring it into perspective, we had a failing percent of 85% of accomplishing work when I first took over. And 3 weeks later, we were at a 98% completion rating. So with putting these simple principles in place, we were able to turn that organization around by 87% within 3 weeks. So it may not work for you, but it worked for me. And that's really why we should understand our people and get to know what's really inside them and makes them, what are their desires, right? We all have hurts and fears and insecurities and wounds. I kind of shared some of those with us this week. But we also have places that offer great potential and transformation and growth. So as you're working with these members and you're working with these individuals and you start to get to know their heart, you will also see what you can utilize within them to build a peer-to-peer support to help those individuals connect with others and help transform them and grow as well, right? So knowing their heart isn't just about you and that one and your people, but that then starts to build this foundation within the organization. And let's just say my 32 individuals started communicating more. They started speaking more. They started building a relationship with each other, and that helped with life transformation and growth within each and every single individual. You know, it led me to this one question that said, if we can do this and we can have people just grow just by knowing their name and understanding their passions and feeling their pain, and then start to build a relationship of followership and knowing their heart, how purposeful and motivated are you in getting to know your leader as well, right? So if you are their leader, are you also looking up to get to know your leader in this capacity? It's important to know that we all too often talk about ourselves. We need to start listening more about others, right? So as our lead, if it's me as a leader and I'm trying to get my people to do stuff, right? And I'm always talking, and I'm not lending that listening ear to them, they're never going to get to know me. So I need to listen to them so I understand what they need, and then I can share with them so they understand what I need, and it starts to build that relationship. kind of what we spoke about on the first thing here. And actively listening builds trust and makes others feel valued during that time as well. If we build trust and make others feel valued, they're going to do so much more for us. You have no idea. So much more. So with that, that is day number 4. Appreciate you coming back and seeing me here at Overcome HQ. All right, remember every single day to lead, inspire, and drive people to become a better self. And tomorrow is the last principle of these 5 motivational principles for discipleship and followership. And this one you don't want to miss. Super important because it specifically speaks to you. All right, you as the individual. So come on back tomorrow. You can reach us at overcomehq.com. You can reach us at Instagram at overcomehq out there. Come check us out, see what our inspirational word is for the day, and let us know if you have any insight for us because we just want to help you.